2,000 years ago, the most powerful man on earth sat alone in a military tent on the edge of the Roman Empire. It was late. The candle was burning low, and in a small leather notebook he never intended for anyone to read, he wrote down a single sentence that, if you let it, will change how you carry yourself for the rest of your life. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, commander of an army that could have leveled cities at his word. And what he wrote in that tent was this: "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Welcome to Oculus of the Wise." I am glad you are here, because what we are going to look at tonight is something Marcus never said out loud, but he lived it every day of his reign. It is the hidden cost of making a decision that the people around you did not understand. The weight of trusting your own judgment when the safer choice was sitting right there. And the very specific question that follows that kind of decision for weeks, months, sometimes years. If you have ever made a move that did not look right from the outside, a choice that broke from the script everyone expected you to follow, you already know the question I am talking about. Did I get that right? If that question has been quietly sitting at the back of your mind, slowing you down, draining your confidence, eroding the certainty you felt in the moment you actually moved, stay with me. Because there is a body of thinking, refined over 2,000 years by some of the most rigorous minds in history, that says the question itself is the wrong question. And once you see what the right question is, the weight you have been carrying becomes a tool you can use for the rest of your life. Hit the like button before we go further if you are ready to actually do this. And if you have not subscribed to Oculus of the Wise yet, this is the moment we publish one of these every week. The kind of thinking we cover here is not loud, not viral, not dressed up for the algorithm. It is the kind that compounds, the kind that 6 months from now you will look back and realize quietly rewired how you make decisions. Now back to the question. Here is what almost nobody tells you about the moment you made that move. The moment you stepped outside the plan, listened to something the spreadsheet could not explain. Said no to the safe. Yes. Said yes to the thing your gut had been pointing at for longer than you wanted to admit. That moment was not a deviation. That moment was the entire point. Seneca, writing letters from his villa to a young friend named Lucilius, said this: "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Read it again. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. The decision you made is a real, completed event. It exists in the past. It cannot be edited. But the suffering you have layered on top of it, the replays, the second-guessing, the imagined alternative timelines where you chose differently and everything was better, those are not real. Those are productions. They are running in a theater inside your head, and you are the only person buying tickets. The moment was clean when you made it. The clouding came later. If something just shifted as I said that, if a small piece of you just exhaled for the first time in a while, take a breath and drop a comment below with the words "I see it now." Not because I need the engagement, because the act of writing it down externalizes a private realization, and externalized realizations stick. Things named out loud do not slip back into the fog as easily as things felt in silence. Now, why does the clouding happen? This is where the Stoics get interesting, because they did not just describe the problem, they diagnosed it. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential philosophers in Western history, taught his students a single principle that, if you internalize it, will change every relationship in your life. He called it the dichotomy of control. Some things are in our control, most things are not. The things in our control are our judgments, our intentions, our responses. The things not in our control are everyone else's opinions, reactions, and interpretations of what we do. When you made the move, you operated inside what was yours. Your judgment, your intention, Your response to a situation only you fully understood. The clouding began the moment you started, letting other people's interpretations have weight equal to your own knowing, their raised eyebrows, the polite pause before they answered, the throwaway comment that landed harder than they probably meant it to, the advice you did not ask for, given in a tone that said, "This person thinks I have lost the plot." Every one of those data points started running through your system, and slowly, without you noticing, the clean signal you acted on got buried under a pile of noise that was never yours to carry. That is not a personal failure. That is a feature of human cognition. We are wired for social conformity because for most of evolutionary history, getting kicked out of the tribe meant death. Your brain treats disapproval like a physical threat. It releases the same stress hormones. It hijacks the same attention systems. It generates the same urgency to fix it, explain it, soften it, walk it back. But you do not live in a tribe of 40 people on a savanna anymore. You live in a world where your single best decision was probably one that nobody around you fully approved of in the moment you made it. Pause and think about that. Every founder you admire made that move. Every artist whose work matters to you made that move. Every leader who actually changed something made that move. The historical record is unanimous on this. The people who built lives that mattered did not do it by waiting for consensus. They did it by acting on a signal that only they had access to, and then enduring the season of doubt that follows every move like that. You are in that season right now. This is the part where most people break, not in the decision, in the season after it. So here is what the Stoics figured out, and it is the single most useful thing I am going to say in this video. Mark this section, screenshot it, write it on something you will see tomorrow morning. The proper response to the season after a brave decision is not defense. It is not explanation. It is not constant relitigation of the choice. The proper response is silence and continued motion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like that." Meaning, the best response to the noise around you is not to engage with it on its terms. It is to keep being the version of yourself that made the original decision in the first place. Epictetus put it sharper. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Stop trying to make the people who did not understand the move understand the move. That is not your job. Your job is to walk forward into the chapter the move opened and let time do what time does, which is to convert decisions into outcomes that speak louder than any explanation you could have offered while the outcome was still forming. If you can feel that, drop a comment below with the words "I will not explain anymore," not as a declaration of war, as a quiet decision to redirect the energy you have been spending on defense back into the actual life you are trying to build. There is a story I want to leave you with because it captures everything we have talked about better than I can say it directly. In 1965, an American naval officer named James Stockdale was shot down over North Vietnam. He spent the next 7.5 years as a prisoner of war in what was called the Hanoi Hilton, where he was tortured more than 15 times and held in solitary confinement for 4 years. The thing that kept him alive, by his own account, was a single book he had read in graduate school, The Enchiridion of Epictetus. Years later, after his release, Stockdale was asked who did not make it out. Who broke? His answer was unexpected. The optimists, he said, the ones who told themselves they would be home by Christmas. And when Christmas came and went, they told themselves they would be home by Easter. And when Easter passed, they told themselves Thanksgiving. They died of broken hearts. The ones who survived, Stockdale said, were the ones who did two things at once. They held absolute faith that they would prevail in the end, no matter the difficulty, and they confronted the most brutal facts of their current reality, whatever they were. That is called the Stockdale paradox. And it is the exact frame you need for the season you are in. You made the move. The move was real. You will prevail in the chapter it opened, and at the same time, the current reality is that not everyone is going to understand. The outcomes are not all visible yet, and some of the people you wanted approval from are not going to give it to you on the timeline you wanted. Both things are true. Hold both. Do not collapse into one or the other. That is what maturity looks like. That is what the Stoics were pointing at the entire time. Before you go, I want to give you something concrete to do in the next 24 hours, because watching a video like this and then doing nothing is how you waste good thinking. 1. Write down the decision you have been second-guessing. 1 sentence. Just the move, no commentary. 2. Underneath it, write down the actual reason you made it at the time, not the reasons you have constructed since to defend it, the original reason. 3. Burn the paper or shred it or delete the note. The point is, you are not going to keep relitigating something you have now formally closed. The case is decided, the court is adjourned. Then go do the next thing the decision was supposed to open. If this hits something in you, the most valuable thing you can do is share it with one person you know is sitting in their own version of this season. Not because the algorithm needs it, because there is someone in your life right now who is 6 weeks into a decision they made, and the doubt is louder than the original clarity. Send this to them. One message, no long preamble. They will know what to do with it. And if you want to go deeper, subscribe to Oculus of the Wise and turn on notifications. The next video in this sequence is about how to design your environment so that the second-guessing season is shorter, less destructive, and more productive. You do not want to miss it. A final word, and then I will let you go. The version of you that made the decision knew something the version of you currently doubting it does not have access to. That earlier version was standing in the actual moment, with the actual context, with the actual information, with the actual gut signal that has been quietly accurate your entire life if you look back honestly. Trust them. They were not wrong. Marcus Aurelius, in the last book of his Meditations, wrote a sentence I want you to carry with you for the rest of the week. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. You already made the move. Now, go be the person who made it. I will see you in the next one.